Yo, what's up? Welcome to the best damn arm wrestling show. You're here with Mike Ayello, baby. What's up?
What up?
Mike, you're here with Reza Delmaganian from South Arizona.
Scott Wynn from Southern California. What's up, big dog?
What's going on, baby? What's going on? I haven't seen you guys in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, dude. I think Arizona was the last time I actually saw you.
Yeah, you were refereeing, and
The hottest fucking day of my life, bro.
dude, it was like 110 degrees, bro. It was dry heat. I love when people say that's dry heat. I'm like, fuck you. It's 110 degrees, man.
Yeah, it was
hot.
nasty, dude. That was a nasty day. So, Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you into the sport?
I used to do like security, and I used to do like bouncing all over the place in New York City, all the bars and all the clubs and stuff. And I used to arm wrestle all the bouncers and like, you know, big 300-pound dudes. And I used to beat everybody. I never lost an arm wrestle from like 6th grade to like 30 years old until I turned pro.
Wow.
So one guy was like, yo, dude, you should like compete. I'm like, fuck it. So I Googled it, like New York City arm wrestling tournaments or whatever. And like Jason Vale came up and Bobby Buttafuoco. And like, it was like a whole website. I was like, oh shit. So I called up the number, and Gene Camp was like, dude, we hold a practice on like, you know, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, come to this address and we'll show you what's up. Like, you know, we'll show you the rules on the table and everything else. So I go there and fucking I knock on the door. It's like some garage in Queens, New York. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He opens the door and there was like 20 dudes with like 4 or 5 arm wrestling tables and like chalk in the air. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, this is like a real thing. So Jason Vale was like, dude, take your jacket off and let's see what you got, you know? I never even seen an arm wrestling table in my life. I wound up beating everybody in the room. I had no clue. I was just all side pressure. I had no idea what I was doing.
Damn.
And
Did you pin Jason too?
well, he didn't arm wrestle. He didn't pull, but I pulled. It was like Bobby Buttafuoco, Dan Fortuna. Granted, they were much smaller than me, but maybe they were tired. But like I said, I never even seen. They were like, yeah, put your elbow here and grab the peg. I was like, oh, all right. I mean, no clue. So Vale walked me to my car after. He's like, dude, he's like, you're ridiculous. He's like, in 2 weeks, there's a tournament, the Big Apple Grapple, in 2009 it was. He's like, you're going to pull the amateurs, you're going to win the whole thing and turn pro. I'm like, really? So I wound up doing, I went undefeated, and I turned pro 2 weeks later. So I literally arm wrestled for 2 weeks and turned pro. So
Wow.
I never looked back. I called my wife on the way home. I'm like, this is the fucking best thing ever. So I got bit by the bug right there, you know.
Very cool.
Never looked back.
You got Jordan Sill on.
Yeah, we're working on his audio right now, so let's just focus on Mike for the moment. Mike, so what was the first big win or first big tournament win that you had in your career, if you don't mind telling us?
Who did I pull that was pretty? I mean, I beat RVJ with like 2 years in. I pulled. I went to nationals. I went to the Europa when it was in Connecticut. I took second to Tim Bresnan. Then I went to the Arnold Classic with like 2 years experience. That was the biggest tournament. I think it was in 2011. It was like fucking Rich Lutz, Chafee, Michael Todd. I mean, it was like an all-star lineup. I mean, I got destroyed the first day. I was like, I don't even give a fuck. I'm like, this is insane. Yeah, I mean, a couple big wins. I mean, I beat Bresnan in the WAL thing. Yeah, it was just I just started traveling all over the place after that.
So initially, the first time I met you, I think it was actually at a WAL event. How long have you been arm wrestling with WAL?
Actually the first tournament I was signed by them, the Ohio tournament. I think it was 2014 was when I wound up. I went to the finals and I lost to Chafee. That was a good tournament.
Yeah, and what was that, Scott?
Who'd you lose to, Mike?
Dave Chafee in the finals. I actually I went to the finals twice. It was Atlantic City, WAL, and Ohio, like in the beginning.
Very nice.
No. And I guess you have a super match coming up or a round robin coming up here
Yeah,
pretty soon. How are you feeling?
I feel great now. Been training like basically every day. Um,
Training
gym,
what?
I feel straight.
What are
Arm
you
wrestling.
training?
Yeah, I've been doing a ton of shit in the gym, at home. Along with my gym training, I feel strong as fuck. So let me see what happens.
Now, who are you training
Training,
with?
training your hand?
Training. That's actually all I'm doing is my hand, because that's the guys I'm pulling. Chance, his looks ridiculous right now. Um, they're all outside pullers, so I'm not really looking to really hook these guys. That would probably be the worst thing. That's what he's looking for me to do. So not
Yeah.
not to give out my freaking game plan, but I mean, if I go right into a hook with a good top roller, it's just you're gonna lose your hand immediately and look like a dick. So hopefully just contain his hand, stop the rotation, and then I can maybe drag him in like a Ron Bath does to like Matt Mask. Like he stops the initial rotation, flattens your hand, and then he can like kind of drag somebody in. But
Yeah.
we'll see what I can do. We'll see how it goes that
I
day.
think if you can keep your arm as straight up as possible, that's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah. Absolutely. Use my length, post high,
100%.
and
Yeah,
go that
Chance is a
route.
strong kid. He seems to get the position right off the start on everybody he's been beating. So
Yeah.
I want to see how good he is.
He does cheat you in the setup. You got to be careful with him in the setup.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
last couple of
explain
matches I'm watching him, he does like the referee won't turn him, like straighten him out, like he's completely turned.
when you
He's
say
got a
he's
little bit of a kick
starting
in his
kind
hand.
of dropped with one
Yeah,
shoulder ahead.
yeah. They
Okay.
don't straighten out his shoulders ever. I'm like, oh my god, he's turned to the fucking side.
Well,
Like when
if he
God, I'm
starts
sorry.
with Leonard or Bill Collins or myself or Scott, he's not going to be able to get away with that shit.
They don't get away with that shit, right?
I've refed you before. You know what it is. You know what I mean? You can
Yeah,
have
you guys
one
don't fuck
shoulder
around.
can be higher than the other one, but if your shoulders aren't square, I'm not going to let the match start.
Yeah, it's a completely different game, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
So
And
So
his wrist is going to be flat. He's getting away with this. I see this in a lot of matches.
he's a little bit of he's a little bit of a kinked wrist, and with a kid, the kid's strong. I mean, he's a fucking great arm wrestler.
Yeah.
If you give him a millimeter, you're fucked. I mean, that kid, he's 300 pounds now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna get beat by a 14-year-old kid.
There we go. I think that's it.
yeah, you just got to get your video, Bubba.
I actually got a Chance Shaw hat. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so
I
we got
It's not-
Jordan coming on right now. He just needs to get his video. Your audio is good, Jordan. So once
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
you bottom, I'm gonna ask you, so it should simplify it for you. You see it? There you go. There it is.
There we go. Jeez. You guys got me
What's up,
trying to do smart shit. I'm not smart.
No, Bubba, you just did it. We're
No,
on.
no. Oh no, I'm not smart. Don't fool yourself. That's why I arm wrestle. I'm not fucking smart.
What's up, Jordan? So introduce yourself, man.
Oh, I'm Jordan Sill from northern Utah, just north of Salt Lake. I arm wrestle, finish concrete. That's
Yeah.
about it.
What's up, Jordan? How you doing, bud?
How you doing?
Good, man.
Damn, he put a hat on. Okay.
Well, as you can see, I'm kind of rooting for Chance Shaw now.
Yeah, so Jordan, you're coming up in this this 4-way round robin. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I'm feeling all right. I don't really necessarily know how I got roped into it, but I'm here.
We've heard rumors.
What kind of room?
Relentless, I heard.
What's that?
I heard they were relentless on you.
No, they poked a little bit and goaded me into it.
Now, do you guys?
You coming in at 209?
No, I was talking shit to Chance because when I
I
pulled
was
him,
like, oh my goodness.
cut the 209 for the tournament I was at there, and then he beat me in the overalls.
Okay.
After he beat you when he outweighs you by 70 pounds. Like, well, I'm not
Yeah, really.
pulling another weight class this time, big guy. Hang on tight.
What are you going to get up to?
What's that?
How much you think you're going to come in at? Your weight?
I walk around 225, so it'll be right about 225 because first weekend in August, I'm going to pull again, but I have to be 205 then. So I'm not doing anything to try to gain weight. I'm just maintaining.
How about you, Mike? What are you walking around at? What are you going to come in at?
I'm like 273, 274 right now.
Damn,
Only
you're a
50
beast.
pounds, right?
You're a fucking beast, bro. Holy shit. Now, do you guys know who's gonna face who? Is it like a random? You guys gonna choose like out of a basket to see who?
No, they already have it. It's already
Okay.
They're
set.
probably doing that.
I haven't heard anything yet on who's pulling who.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I don't
I
know how it's gonna
see
go.
they got you guys already matched up from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it. I think the fairest way would be to,
Wow.
if it's a 4-way, have them just draw matches. But
Yeah, right.
so
Yeah,
Jordan,
1, 2, 3, and 4. Just pull out a number.
yeah, and then you pull against whoever you pull against, you know. But
Well, everybody has to pull everybody at some point, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's a double eliminate. Yeah, right.
yeah. So Jordan, what got you into the sport? How long have you been arm wrestling?
I was just working with a guy. He had me come to a practice, and I walked into a practice, and I was beating guys that they said were borderline national champions, and just kept going to practice. And
Here you are.
yeah, here I am.
Have you two pulled? Have you and Mike pulled before?
A few times.
Yeah, mostly WAL or anything outside of that, or
No, the first one was in Florida forever ago,
Yeah, that was a good tournament.
probably 10 years ago.
oh damn.
And then Kansas City, we ran into each other in an overall, I think it was, at a tournament in Kansas City.
I didn't know you were going that far out east, man, to compete.
Oh, I've been from Virginia, Pennsylvania, Florida. I go everywhere.
Damn.
Yeah, he does.
And have both of you guys pulled chance before, or
Couple times.
Wow.
Couple times recently.
yeah? Now, when you pulled chance, did you feel any weaknesses in his hand or wrist or in his bicep?
Oh, yeah.
Lat, or
Oh,
where do
yeah.
you feel there's the easiest opportunity to attack?
Get on top of his hand, even in the strap, to just be higher. Just get my knuckles
Talking
up.
about just like your index knuckle being a little bit higher.
being-
hand
Just
position.
being up on top and not.
Yeah.
Because he's got a pretty good post in the strap, but if I can get height on it, I think I can contain it and be in a pretty decent position. So
How about you, Mike? You've never pulled him before?
I never pulled him. Yeah. So he's been chasing me for a while. He's like, I want your placement. I want your placement on the friggin'
He wants
super
the-
heavyweights.
He wants the
I think I'm
perfect
like-
tan. He's looking for the
Yeah.
perfect tan. So
I
have,
lives in Florida with no tan. What the fuck?
have you guys ever pulled Don Underwood? I believe he's the fourth in your guys'.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a few super matches with Don. I had 2 super matches with him, and I pulled him in a few different tournaments.
Okay, so that's
What was
interesting.
what was the outcome? God damn it.
The last super match I destroyed him. I beat him in WAL 2014, and then for some reason, like I was sleeping in Arkansas the last tournament we just pulled last year at Michael Todd's tournament. He said ready to go, and I was on the pad in 2 seconds. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, ah, fuck it, whatever.
And then when you and Jordan pulled, what was the outcome of that? Who came out on top?
Mike's beat me both times.
Both times, okay.
Yeah, I was way heavier than him at the time.
What was your weight, Jordan? Do you think when
The first time we pulled, I was at a round robin that was 198. And then Kansas City, I was walking around about 215, 218. So
Okay, so you're more of like a heavyweight versus a super.
yeah.
Yeah. Most
That was a
tournaments
long
I've seen,
round robin,
yeah,
man.
were mostly heavy. What was that, Mike?
That was a long round robin in Florida that
Yeah.
time, man. You guys,
Yeah.
there was like Craig Tullier. I mean, it was like a whole bunch of dudes. It
Well,
was a
they-
5-6 hour
And
tournament.
they had like a round robin, and then all the weight classes were round robin too. So it was the one
Yeah,
weight,
that was a long one.
18 guys in it, and everybody pulled everybody. And that,
Oh my god. Oh shit.
by the time
Jesse
we pulled
Gonzalez
Mike,
is
I was
like,
ready to take a nap.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. That was fucking a long day,
Yeah.
man.
Shit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys' round robin event. It'll be interesting to see who gets matched against who first, fresh for fresh. That's kind of what
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be-
interested to see.
That's huge. Yeah.
So, and I'm interested to see if Chance is able to essentially, I think he kind of created this event to kind of staple his name. He sees you guys as, some bigger names in the game. So
I don't understand why I get picked on though. I'm ranked at 220. All these guys are like unders. Like I don't know how that's a feather in the cap to beat somebody 3 weight classes below you, but
no,
yeah.
when was the last time you competed, Jordan?
Oh shoot, a couple weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago.
How'd you do?
Good. I won my weight class at Hawthorne.
Congratulations, man. And how about
Yeah,
you, Mike? When was the last time you got to compete?
I pulled in Pennsylvania. I did horrible. I just came off of COVID. I shouldn't even
Oh,
pulled. I
shit.
was like 255 pounds. Like I got a crackhead. And it was me, Passmore, and fucking and Brandon Elsessa. Brandon beat us both to death.
Yeah, we just recently interviewed him. What do you think about him? Do you think he could be a
So
threat for a lot of the
2
big
years
boys?
ago, yeah. I mean, the kid 2 years ago couldn't hold my gym bag, and now he's like really very good. I mean, I go, dude, you beat me fair and square. I have nothing to say. I go, you pulled great. I'm not gonna bring up COVID and shit. That's gay.
Yeah.
If you have an injury or you're sick or whatever and you lose, it's like, dude, then don't fucking pull, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I lost, and I'm like, dude, you pulled great. Like, he not only did he beat us, but he like destroyed everybody the whole day. So his angles are great.
He's
His hand,
definitely
wrist,
one of the
stuff like
guys
granite.
that I've said has a lot of potential over the last
Totally.
few
He's
years.
young.
And his consistency is definitely paying off.
Yeah, he does. I mean, even his gym lifts are ridiculous with like fucking one hand fucking pull ups with weighted fucking. I mean, it's like he's a freak. Kid's good, man. He works hard.
Now, getting some opinions, me and Scott have been asking a bunch of people about some of these matches that recently occurred. Like, what's your guys' input on Devin versus Michael Todd? You want to go first, Mike?
Yeah. So Michael Todd calls me. He's like, bro. He goes. I go, what happened? He goes, nothing. He goes, I've never seen him. He goes, I have nothing to say. He goes, the guy's wrist. He goes, I'd never seen something so ridiculous. His head grew. He goes, I had nothing for him absolutely at all. He goes, I was maybe down a notch, and he had the best day of his life. And when you're at that level, you know, you get destroyed. You know, so he goes, the guy was just unbelievable that day.
How about you, Jordan? What's your take on that match?
Oh, it was something else. I mean, to watch somebody do that to Michael Todd was just mind blowing. That he couldn't even for one match get in a position to be even in the match was just.
Yeah.
I mean,
his face was drained after like the first match. He goes, oh shit.
Well, when they gripped up, you could see when they gripped up, and he was feeling the wrist out, and he's like, oh, yeah. Fuck. And he knew it was over before they even said go. Like it almost looked like the match was done before they even said go the first time.
Yeah, another big match that happened was Hermes and Matt Mask. You want to give us your opinion first this time, guys?
Me?
Sorry.
Me?
Yeah. Jordan, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I mean, that one's hard to take because I mean, one guy has been training for 2.5 years because he got his ass whooped by the other one. And the other guy just went about his normal everyday life, got a call. Hey, you want to come pull him again? And jumped on a plane and left and was still pretty close to in the matches. You know, I mean, he did lose and it looked bad, but I don't think it was as bad as it looked.
But going back in time, sorry to interrupt. Yeah. If you look at him pulling against Michael Todd, Hermes pulling against Michael Todd, it was a very close match.
Yeah.
And Hermes was lighter then. This is one of the reasons why I felt Hermes had such great potential of winning.
But the way I look at that is Michael catches. And so if somebody with that top roll that can hit that hard and that high that catches is going to be caught in a bad position every time, no matter what. Where Mask hits just as fast almost, I think stylistically, Matt has a better chance of competing with Hermes than
Michael Todd.
Somebody that pulls like Michael Todd.
Yeah. What's your take?
Go ahead.
Sorry. What's your take, Mike? Hermes versus Matt Mask. Oh, he's getting his audio back. Okay. There you, I think you're back.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I lost the audio for a minute. Okay.
Hermes versus Matt Mask. What's your take, Bubba?
That was I had Matt winning. Another thing, I mean, maybe
That's
the
what Scott said.
yeah, Matt is just, a freak, and I just didn't know what happened there. I guess maybe the pads. I mean, I hate to say like, a pad would be that much of a problem, but maybe it was a problem for Hermes in the first in the WAL. Maybe it was a problem for him. Matt goes back, so he couldn't really do that with those pads. They're so hard and short. So maybe that could
Easier
have
to
been a
get a
problem.
foul on those pads, definitely.
1,000%. Yeah.
And then with
I
those
think
rules,
Matt underestimated him. You know what I mean? He came in there saying he wasn't going to underestimate him, but he beat him so easily on the wall event that I don't
Right.
think he really took it to that next level again. And obviously,
Yep.
Hermes, he did. You know what I mean? That dude came in ready.
Oh, he started training from like that day on, with Igor and those guys, and he came in with like a vengeance. He's like, "Fuck this! I'm not losing like that again." So yeah, I was
Fuck
training
him,
hard,
dude.
man.
Yeah. What do you think, Jordan?
I try not to think too much. I think if Matt had been the one to get whooped the time before and he'd have come back, I think it would have been opposite, just the same. I mean, one guy's dedicated 2 years to pulling one person, and the other guy just got called a couple months ago to come pull him again. And yeah, I mean, if you gave Matt, 3 more months, I think it would be a different outcome. Because I don't think the match, even with only 3 months, was that far off.
see, here's my intake. I believe that when they first faced under WAL rules, Hermes didn't have enough competition time under WAF rules or WAL rules to have a comfortable experience with those rules and to feel comfortable with those rules. Now, the
He
same
looked very
thing,
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Matt was used to very loose running foul rules and then went into a very rigid rule format where every bump is called. So for him, it's a lot more difficult, for example, in the setup where if you make any kind of adjustments in the setup, they can call fouls. If your elbow bumps at all, they can call it. So I just feel that both of them have kind of gone to each other's avenues to compete. And when Hermes came to Matt's avenue, which was WAL, he lost. And when Matt went to his avenue, he lost. And sometimes you see this in martial arts where like 2 martial artists both have skills, but when they go to the other person's rule sets, they win under their own rules. And I think the third match, if it occurs, it'll be interesting to see what kind of rule sets they pull under. If there's a compromise between them, like, hey, I want these rules or you need these rules, because the third match could be like the determining match because now they've each got a match on each other. And see if that plays an effect on their third match, if they have one.
Yeah, I think Matt's arm wrestled enough on a regulation table, and he knew going over there. You know what I mean? The rules are going to be much tighter, and those pads are different. So, I mean,
but also he pulled a lot of arm wars, which was running foul, and he also pulled WAL, which was running foul with bigger pads. So even though he has those at home, he's not used to a European ref sticking their arm out and going, straighten out your shoulders.
Yeah.
And then after that, like touching your wrists, and if there's the most minute adjustment, anything they call it in the US, athletes get away with this. Athletes, as you were saying earlier, Mike, you got to watch Chance in the setup because he's going to take everything. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things where, depending on where they compete, it'll determine. I feel it'll determine a lot.
What are you guys pulling for in the 4-way? What's the award or the prize?
I think it's like $1,000.
Yeah, first place is 1,000. Nothing else pays.
Right on.
Oh, so there's some ambition there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So did you guys are you guys gonna do any personal wagers? Is there any personal wagers in it, or is it more just like Chance and the promoters put the capital up and you guys just compete?
Yeah, they just put the money up and called it. Nobody's said anything to me, betting anything.
You know if they're gonna have a tournament too, or it's just the four-way?
There's a tournament with payouts too.
Yeah, the tournament. Yeah.
Nice,
Yep.
nice. Do you guys get the opportunity?
Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma?
I've never been there.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't been to Oklahoma either. It should be.
I'll probably fit right in over there. Like, what the fuck is this guy here?
Well, you know, in Arizona when you competed, you like ripped off your shirt and everyone was like, "Oh shit!" So yeah, you know, rip off your shirt in Oklahoma
Oh,
and
shit.
you'll make a show.
You know what's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So another random question, guys. Do you guys ever see yourself competing in like an IFA world title, or are you guys gonna both stick with WAL?
I actually just got my shirt from Denise. I'm already registered for the IFA, so probably go down to Orlando.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice. Good luck, Mike. And how about you, Jordan?
I haven't. I have no plans. I don't.
Yeah.
I just kind of sit around till somebody calls me out or the WAL calls. I don't
Now, do you
really
have
plan tournaments and stuff.
any aspiration to pull against any of the top Europeans?
Oh, I'd love to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like
I
if
want to pull Crosby really bad.
well, Crosby's pulled some WAL super matches, so both of you guys would have the potential to pull
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
You know, and
Oh,
I think that he would be a good test for both of
Absolutely,
you guys
definitely.
just to see where you guys measure up against all the Europeans because he's a force to deal with in Europe. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's a fucking problem. That guy's a problem. Yeah.
have any of you guys, what Europeans have you guys faced in your careers?
I pulled Pushkar, and that was ridiculous.
Holy shit! When'd you pull Pushkar?
Moldova,
I went to Moldova and fucking I did pretty well. I'm not against him, but like I think I took 7th or 8th that day, but I pulled a couple of Europeans. Yeah, he like ripped my arm off and like pissed on it. But yeah, it was great just to be on the table with him.
How about you, Jordan?
I pulled a couple. I pulled Raymond's Antonovics and Arm Wars in Germany. I pulled Norman Thompson's a couple times in a couple of the WL qualifiers.
I actually beat him in Chicago. He came to Chicago.
Yeah, I've never lost to Norman Thompson's. I think we've pulled 3 matches. I beat him all 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I guess looking out into the future, what are your guys like, Mike? First, what's your goal in arm wrestling? Like, what do you want to do with arm wrestling? Where would you like to see the sport go?
I mean, obviously, the Olympics. If that would ever happen. But I mean, personally, I want to do the Worlds. I actually want to do Zloty. Now that COVID's pretty much more lenient, we can fly to Poland or wherever it's going to be, or maybe the Worlds in Romania in 2022. But we'll see.
Zloty will definitely be one hell of a test for you, bro. It's
That's all you got to do. That. I mean,
a nasty
that's
tournament. I've done it 4 times, and it sent me home crying every time.
Dude, I don't mean to cut you guys short. I just gotta run.
It was awesome having you, Mike. We appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Take it
See
easy.
you later, Mike.
In a few weeks.
Later, Jordan. I'll see you soon, man. Later.
Yeah. So, Jordan, what do you think?
I just want to arm wrestle. I don't really think too far ahead on what's happening and where it's going and that. I just want to arm wrestle. I really don't care where or how or who, as long as the match is set up and I'm there.
Now, what are you doing for preparation? Are you just doing table time? Are you training with a group of guys or?
Yeah, twice a week. We're pulling twice a week, and I'm back to finishing concrete, so I'm getting my workouts. As we.
Who you pull with? Who's your training group? Is it with Bob and these guys?
Yeah, I was with Craig Touye and that, and then there's another group a little closer to where I'm at, and then I go up to Cody Merritt's a couple times, once or twice a month usually. So
how's Cody looking? Is he healthy right now? Is he getting strong?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he's feeling good. He's feeling he's back.
Random question. If you were to say top 5 guys, super heavyweights, who would they be?
Oh, I don't know. I don't pay much attention to
Rankings?
Yeah. Because I mean,
Well,
in
super
terms of
heavyweight.
the top 5 or 5 different guys, depending on who shows up, and I mean, draws and that. It's 5 different guys every day, all day. So I don't pay much attention to rankings.
How many tournaments have you hit this year so far, do you think?
This year, I think I've hit 6 or 7.
Nice.
When in Hawthorne, that was my 3rd tournament in 4 weeks at that one. And then I hit a couple earlier in the year and that. And
That's right, yeah.
MC's been really active this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody, well, not everybody, but it's good to see when guys are active because they're showing up, and it's not only supporting the tournament, but it's proving you're more of a contender than a guy that selectively picks the tournaments he wants to go to, depending on who's there. You know what I mean?
Now, do you have anything in between now and that Supermat in the 4-man format?
No, that's in, what is it, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So
July
coming-
10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty short notice, but.
Yep.
And do you feel Chance has a chance against you? I mean, I'm
definitely.
I'm rooting for you. I'm just
Yeah.
hoping you can keep your hand up
Yeah.
high without letting your hand
Yeah.
do this at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if he can take your wrist there, that's his.
Yeah. I mean, the match between me and him is whoever gets position. It's
Yeah.
if I stay on top and keep my wrist from being turned on me, I think I can finish him. But if he can get out on my wrist and get me dumped and get it down, has a pretty good shot at pinning me.
Yeah. And then
What do you think of his defense? I mean, does he have a defense? Did you see him on defense at all? Because I haven't seen him much on his defense.
No, the few losses I've seen him take, he took them pretty fast and pretty handily, just got powered through. So there wasn't really a whole lot to watch and figure out. Like in Texas, when Robbie Burnett beat him, he just blew through him twice. So it wasn't really something you could take away from unless you can hit as hard and fast as Robbie Burnett.
Right.
yes, he definitely needed an explosive start.
Yeah.
And then what weaknesses do you think you might play into on him? Like obviously you watched the other guy that beat him, you're gonna have to try and be explosive.
Yeah. And not letting him get everything he wants on the setup, making sure everything's square and fair. And
have you pulled him in a strap before?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
how did you
he's
go?
good at getting to the strap. And I felt all right. The first time I pulled him, I had just pulled a super match with Ron Bath. And so I really didn't care about the tournament and got up and he beat me twice in that tournament. And then the second time I pulled him, the second tournament, I cut to 209 and pulled multiple weight classes. And still, I mean, I can feel there's a weakness there. I just didn't have enough to attack when we were pulling. So, but this time going to pull him.
I'm hoping you guys pull first match.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, because I would hate to see you pull against Mike, or hate to see him pull against somebody and you guys not go fresh for fresh. I want to see you and him.
Yeah, I definitely want
fresh.
him fresh.
So that's kind of what I'm hoping to see. And I think that if he can pull a win over you, that it's going to be a huge. I know that you say your name isn't like master ranking or whatever, but I think your consistency is a big factor into why you're not always going to win everything, especially you get fatigued and you're not giving yourself enough time to recover, but you're essentially using the tournaments almost as training to make yourself better. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see you rested and see what you can do fully rested against Chance. Fresh for fresh on the first match.
I'm coming ready to pull Chance. That's like, I know what I have to do to beat Mike, and I'm pretty sure right now I can get there. I'm pretty sure I know how to pull Don to beat him, and I'm not really that worried about that one. But Chance, I'm coming to take him back down a notch. he's got a little big head recently, and he needs knocked back down to earth.
Yeah, all of us need to be humbled sometimes. And even if
Yeah.
he
Oh,
even if
that's-
he beats all the Americans, he
Yeah.
still needs to go to Europe.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother ball game, bro.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
good luck on your upcoming match, Jordan. I really
you.
appreciate having you on the show, man.
Thanks for
we
having
need
me.
you back on. So till next time,
Thanks,
bro.
Jordan. We'll see you probably in Oklahoma.
Take
Yep.
it easy. Damn.
Take
Beast.
care.